Hello, I'm Michael Witch. I'm a retired teacher from Mamaroneck High School, but today I'm here in a different role. I'm interviewing two very accomplished young men who represent an organization at Mamaroneck High School called the FBLA, and that's the Future Business Leaders of America. And right now I'd like to welcome Ken Pomerantz and Adam Nisanoff. You're both seniors at the high school, so you're looking forward to graduation, I'm sure.
Very much.
And you are both national officers of the FBLA. You are state officers. You are chapter officers.
Yes.
Ken, tell us, if you can, not in a briefly, what your responsibilities are at the high school in the local chapter.
So in the local chapter, I'm the executive administrator. It really involves helping our lovely advisor, Ms. Siciliano, who helps run FBLA at our school. She is a faculty advisor, and it has been great. She's been with us. This is now her second year, and it's been very, very successful. I also play a role in the day-to-day operations and helping Adam and any other officer or member who would like it.
And on the state level?
On the state level, I'm the reporter, so I'm responsible for the PR basically and the newsletter.
And on the national level?
I'm the national secretary, so I'm responsible for minutes as well as all different types of correspondence. And I also have the duties of any national officer, creating programming, publicizing FBLA, and et cetera.
Now, it almost doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a major deal, isn't it, to be an officer on the national level?
It's a pretty big deal. So there's 9 national officers, and there's about 250,000 members nationwide. It's the largest and oldest student business organization.
Wow. And that happened out in Anaheim?
Down in Anaheim this past summer. At the National
Past summer.
Leadership
Well,
Conference.
congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Adam,
Yes.
you are also a national, so this also happened for you in Anaheim. And am I correct that two students from the same high school in the same state, that hasn't happened very often?
No, it's
Ever?
the second time ever, and the last time was a very long time ago, over 50 years. So.
Wow. So you're making history. So what do you do on the national level then? You've been elected parliamentarian?
So
and what is that?
So a parliamentarian's an expert at running efficient business meetings, and my role as national parliamentarian is to aid the national president, run our national officer meetings, and also to interact with the state parliamentarians all throughout FBLA.
How do you work nationally? Do you both have to go to meetings out of state often?
So we had national officer training over the summer, which was held in Reston, Virginia, and that's the national FBLA headquarters. So that was a meeting that all the national officers were at.
Right.
And then we also have monthly and bi-monthly Google Hangouts, which are like video conferences.
And are you able to get a lot done in those Google conferences? Because I know sometimes people my age, business people as well as educators, are challenged, shall we say. But it works for you folks.
Yes.
Yes,
Terrific.
definitely.
And on the state level, you also have a role to play?
Yeah, so on the state level, my title is the Executive Vice President. And basically how the state level is organized are there are 8 state officers who are known as state vice presidents, and they're each in charge of a separate region of New York State in terms of running FBLA meetings. And my job is to oversee those 8 officers.
And then on the chapter level here at Mamaroneck High School, you do what?
So on the chapter level, I'm our chapter president, and I run our weekly meetings and work with members in terms of preparing them for competitions on the state and national level, and help them in that way.
And you both manage to still go to classes and take tests and things like that?
As much as possible.
Well, I'm blown away, frankly, by your accomplishments, and again, congratulations to you too. The trophies we see behind us is this from just this past summer?
These are assorted trophies, so from a few different years, but just some nice shiny trophies.
Oh, well, they are beautiful to look at, and tell me about this book that's in the middle. It says MHS FBLA.
So that book is our scrapbook, and we complete it every year. It basically is a catalog of all of the different events we complete throughout the year and stuff, activities our members take place,
This is the
participate
chapter.
in. Yes, our
The
chapter.
okay.
So it's everything from community service to just attending meetings to business workshops and et cetera. So
Is that done every year?
that is done every year.
So you have a record of the FBLA, and how long has it been at the high school?
Over 30 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Quite a history. And the trophies behind them are just from state and national competitions?
They're from the Chapter of the Year competition. So that scrapbook we make every year, we submit to judges at the state level, and they go through and essentially, like we said, the scrapbook documents everything we've done throughout the year. Like, for example, we'll put this interview in the scrapbook, and all our meetings are recorded in it, and judges look at it and judge it against other chapters, and we've been very successful with that each year.
Tell me about some of the activities that members engage in at Mamaroneck.
So we do a lot of activities. We have weekly meetings, as Adam mentioned, and in the weekly meetings we discuss activities and participate in activities.
Are these meetings during the day, or are they all after school?
They're at lunchtime.
So this is not a class here, and you don't get credit for the FBLA.
No credit, just volunteer.
Volunteer, and it's during lunch.
It's during lunch.
How many members are there in Mamaroneck?
Today we actually had a meeting today, and I think we had 43 members attend.
Wow.
So that was great.
Yeah.
And then in terms of activities throughout the year, we do a lot of different community service activities as well as attend some of these conferences. So community service activities, we will be, today we actually started raising awareness for Dennis Lukashkov, who is a past MHS FBLA alumni. He was an officer, I believe, 3 years ago and graduated and unfortunately committed suicide. So we're working to help prevent suicide prevention in his honor. So.
Right, you're raising awareness for that.
Yeah.
And that's a walk at Saxon Woods, right?
Yes.
October 6th.
This Sunday.
Yeah. A tragedy, but that's not the only activity you're doing.
No, we are also going to be participating in midnight runs, raising money and food for local community, different centers, which we do every year, and working closely with the March of Dimes. So.
And Adam, tell me about the school store. You folks run the school store, don't you?
Yeah, so the school store is located in the high school, in the overpass of the high school, and it's run entirely by FBLA. So how it works is members are able to work shifts where they sell like various snacks throughout the school day, and they get paid a certain amount for each period they work. And that money, they don't get it directly, but it goes in an FBLA account that they can then use to go on the various trips that we have.
You also work with students who have some disabilities in the school store.
Yes.
The STEP program? What does STEP stand for?
STEP, do you know what it stands for? It's a special needs program.
Okay.
And we've been working with them the past 2 years and helping teach them how to work in the school store as well.
So is that considered a community service project?
Definitely, yeah. School and community service.
Well, you guys obviously have a lot of self-confidence. I understand you both made speeches out there, or you made a speech, a major speech.
I gave a speech in front of 9,000 to 10,000 people.
Wow.
So that was my campaign speech when I was running for national secretary. And it was,
what was their slogan again?
Together we can, spelled with
We can.
K, so
right.
K-E-N, as in my name.
It caught on because you were elected.
Yes. Actually, after my speech, people were chanting "Together we can," so it was pretty
good. What was that like to speak in front of so many people?
It's very surreal.
Really?
It's a really amazing experience, and it's probably something I would have never had in my life without FBLA. And here I am, a high school student that has spoken in front of thousands of teens across America. So, I mean, it's a really
What did you say to them?
I spoke about a bunch of different things, ranging from my experience to my goals, just really trying to get elected.
So you had some goals for the national FBLA?
Yes.
What were they? Tell me about one of them.
So one of my goals was to educate secretaries, and I'm doing that this year. I'm completing that with my National Secretaries Council, which was actually just announced. And we're going to work together and release different kinds of resources for secretaries across the nation. So
you're talking about FBLA secretaries.
FBLA secretaries, whether it be...
There's a lot of hardworking secretaries out there who are thinking, we're going to get something out of this.
Whether it be state secretaries or chapter secretaries,
right.
Try to provide some more resources and help educate more members. So.
And I guess you hope to increase the membership?
Yes, me and Adam and actually Miss S have been working very hard at that. We have a few chapters that we plan to charter in our area.
Wow. What does that mean to charter? To start up
Yes, to start up FBLA at more high schools.
in Westchester County?
Yes.
How many of them do have chapters?
In Westchester,
Yeah. Does every high school have an FBLA?
no. There are a few or many, but there are definitely a lot without, and we're trying to expand it and get it to hopefully being every one day.
Tell me about some of the benefits of being an FBLA member. I imagine you're going to go to a high school where there's been some interest expressed, and what's the pitch that you would make to them? Like, if you start an FBLA chapter in your school, here's what might happen.
So FBLA is a great organization. As I said, it's the largest and oldest student business organization. Its mission is to bring business and education together, just to shorten the mission statement.
Right.
But it's really essential in developing skills, whether you go into the business field or not. It's essential to have some of these qualities, whether it be leadership, teamwork, how to complete a resume, how to complete an interview, which many high school students have no idea. And just a lot of general life skills. So giving back to the community. We have a heavy focus in community service, as you can see, and it's a great organization. You learn a lot.
You learn a lot not only for a future business career, but it's certainly applicable to anything that you're doing in high school.
Yeah.
Whether you're in an English class or a math class or anything like that. And you both are going to transition to college life. Yes, you're going to college?
Yes.
Good for you. I guess that's a given. What does the FBLA do to help you with that transition?
Well, the first thing, which is probably the biggest, is influence what career path I want to take. No one would have thought that I would have ever considered business because I come from a family of all people in the health field. But it's sort of because of this FBLA experience that made me now not only want to study business in college, but want to major somewhere in business.
And Ken, is that the same for you? Were you always engaged in or always on a path for business?
I have always been very interested in business, but FBLA definitely furthered that and furthered my insight into the business world. So I now know what I want to study within business. So I want to go into finance and hopefully one day investment banking. Also through FBLA, I've started my own business with another one of our chapter members, and it's been just a great experience that really gave me the ability to really just understand how business works and be an efficient leader. So.
Do you see what a business today in the United States? What's your view of it? Because I know in some years business is sort of not been looked down on, but with scandals or financial irregularities and things like that. What you read in the paper is always not flattering for business.
So, I mean, business is just business. No matter what you do, you're really in it to make money. But apart from that, what FBLA has really taught, as we said, was community service and giving back. It's really important to have a good outlook. As I said, I do a lot of the PR for the state, and also, of course, as a national officer, have my own page and some of my own different stuff promoting myself. And it's very important to keep a good image, but it's also very important to give back and just be as good to your community and as good to your business as you can.
Adam, do you have anything to add to that as far as what business is like in the United States today?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with what Ken said. One of FBLA goals is to actually participate in different projects that better the community. So that's something definitely to look for in businesses, what they're doing for the community they're in. And definitely being an FBLA has given me a more optimistic outlook of business in the United States.
Tell me about your relationship with businesses in Mamaroneck and Larchmont. What connections have you made? How is local business supportive of the FBLA?
Yeah, definitely. The local businesses are very supportive of our program. We have contact with them a few times during the year. One of them's during our annual banquet at the end of the year when we go around to various businesses in mostly Larchmont and Mamaroneck, and they provide us with donation prizes for a raffle that we hold to raise money at the banquet. And we also have speakers come in to speak at our weekly meetings. throughout the year who are business people in the community.
On top of that, people also donate to students to get them able to go on some of these trips that we have mentioned, to be able to compete, whether it be statewide or nationally in some of these competitions, really get the opportunity to learn more through workshops and speakers. And of course, we have been in contact with the Chamber of Commerce. We have attended a few of their meetings, and they've been very, very supportive.
How do they support you besides donating a gift or, I guess, money sometimes, or helping somebody attend one of these workshops? Do any of the business leaders take you under their wings, for instance, and give you business advice or guidance?
So as Adam said, we do have a lot of speakers who come in throughout the year. So I know last year we had a bunch of local businessmen and politicians who came in and spoke about their experience in the business world, gave some advice, really, gave a keynote presentation, but after that even stayed and talked to members individually, really give them advice, and whether it be sharing their information and giving contact information for somebody who's interested in going to the field, to really have some kind of mentor. It's really a great relationship that we've developed, and I'm proud to say that our community supports us.
That's great. The school, though, interestingly, does not have a business education department itself, does it?
No, not really. We have economics classes and technology classes, which is sometimes considered in the business realm, but
okay. But the FBLA is not an official class.
It is not a class.
Any plans to try and make it a class?
That would be great. Whether it's going to happen or not, I'm not too sure. There are definitely some schools, a lot in the south of the country, that have it as a class and have it actually as a graduation requirement. So,
talk a little bit more about the national conference that you went to in Anaheim. You had a leadership training workshops that you went to. Anything from those workshops that you took away that was really valuable to you?
Definitely several things.
Yeah.
So there was several keynote speakers, days of workshops, some of them that were tracks, and you kind of went to the same workshop series all day, and some of them that spanned throughout the conference, scattered. But there's definitely some things that I really took away. So some of them were how to just effectively work in a team and make efficient decisions. So I remember in particular, there's one person who part of their workshop was they gave everyone a minute with 5 people to create a presentation. And basically the teams that were the most effective in it were the people that made a decision really quickly, worked together, and just decided what they're going to talk and do it. While other teams would go up and still not know what they're going to say because they were discussing so much. So that he definitely made a very important point of, you got to think with time on the clock and be efficient. Another thing that was very cool is there was a bunch of workshops and actually a whole kind of competition model after the show Shark Tank. So basically students came up with their own ideas and pitched it to a panel. We had a panel of business professionals, including some of the people who actually have been on the show Shark Tank. And it was a very cool experience.
As we speak, our U.S. Congress is in, well, they're not functioning very well. Let's put it that way. That must irk you.
Shut down. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely important. So Perkins Funding supports a lot of FBLA chapters around the nation. New York, we actually just got Perkins this year for the first time, and as far as I know. So it's really important that actually we have funding to further business education and further just successful citizen education.
Is there any direction that you would take differently than some of the businesses that you read about today in the local or national press? I mean, you talked a lot about giving back to the community, and you often don't read too much about that. Of course, the press tends to concentrate on
the negative
and the scandals and things like that. And perhaps one of the things you could do as a PR person would be to generate more positive stories.
Definitely you want more positive stories, because also apart from just individual businesses, you really want to highlight business in America and American enterprise and really show how important it is to our country, because if that goes down, then the rest of the country goes down with it. So it's the business sector is invaluable to America, and really just something that needs to be highlighted, whether it be in press or in government or even in our school and education system.
Does FBLA, Adam, address international business as well as, or do you focus exclusively on the United States?
That's an interesting question. FBLA has many competitions, and one of them is called Global Business. So it gives you an experience in about international business in that sense. But one of actually FBLA's national goals, and our goals as a national team, is to expand our organization to other countries. So this year, actually at our national conference, we had members there from Puerto Rico and from countries also like China. So we're starting to take a more global outlook.
I know China, the Cayman Islands, Korea, and several other countries are definitely showing interest and have started chapters. So it's definitely growing pretty quickly, actually, internationally. So.
But do they model their business on United States, or is there an international model of business, or is business no matter where you go?
I guess it's a bit of all three. So, you know, the U.S. is definitely the hub of business, and it's definitely, a lot of these countries definitely want to be doing business, whether it be in the U.S. or with the U.S., so it's good to understand how our system works. There's definitely international business that even FBLA tries to promote and increase understanding of, because, you know, we're in a global world. As Adam said, we have a lot of our meetings online. You don't even have to see people anymore. You can do it all over the phone or online with video chats. So it's really becoming more of a global market and expanding. So that's very important, obviously, also.
Let's go back a little bit, because I think the last time we did an interview like this was back in April, and you went to the State Leadership Conference, and the chapter in Mamaroneck
We took second place in Chapter of the Year.
And we also had a bunch of individual members come home with awards from that conference too.
And
there is a fall district meeting coming up, I believe.
There's a fall district meeting coming up October 18th at Lakeland High School. There'll be a bunch of workshops there and some keynote speakers, and it's really just to get a taste of what FBLA is like, and it's the first kind of kickoff conference of the year.
Will there be people from Mamaroneck who'll go there in addition to you?
Yes.
And this will be their first experience?
For some of them it will be the first. For some of them they'll be returning. So we of course have, you know, seniors and juniors in FBLA, and we recruited definitely a lot of underclassmen this year, so freshmen and sophomores. But definitely there's a large group of people that go to this conference will definitely be their first time.
Do you know who the speakers will be? Can you tell us a name or two?
I know one of them will be Lisa Lazari, I believe, from the March of Dimes. She's the youth coordinator for the March of Dimes. I believe that's, I know there'll be a representative. I believe it will be her. As far as the other speaker, I'm not sure, but it will be a business professional, and as well as some different business professionals in colleges running workshops.
And Ken and I are going to actually be giving a workshop at this meeting on leadership.
Well, how appropriate. And what other workshops might be offered by some of the college students?
Okay, well, generally not just college students, but actually college professors or college deans of business schools. I know in the past there's been, so obviously March of Dimes has done one just in terms of a professional. They've done one on fundraising. I know there was one last year on just money management, which was done by, I think, a college dean of a business school who was talking about how to manage your money, not only with the college process, but once you're outside of college, and just you know, keeping your checkbook balanced in general. So
yes, very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
We also have parliamentary procedure, which is one of my favorites at this conference, a workshop, and also program of work, which is a workshop in which we go over all the different programs we have, because this conference is at the beginning of the year, so one of our goals is to get the members excited about getting involved in our different programs.
Good. And in Mamaroneck, you're looking to increase membership, or?
Definitely.
Yes.
So as I said, we have increased membership. We actually had, as I said, which is a pretty good turnout for us, 40-something members at the meeting today. Probably a bit more than that, actually, too. So that's very, very good for us. We increased our membership a lot among freshmen, and we have a lot of underclassmen, as I said, that now attend the meetings, but we're always looking to expand, and anyone who would like to come is welcome. Meetings are Wednesday at lunch in the Apple LGI, and it's never too late to join. Also, feel free to contact me if you would like. My email is fblasec@fbla.org. So.
And on YouTube, are you represented there?
Yes, nationally there is a YouTube channel, and there's various different videos uploaded throughout the year, everything from membership promotions to conference promotions to activity explanations to webinars. And
Are there videos specific to Mamaroneck that you've created or you're looking forward to creating?
So actually, a few weeks ago, actually, one of our members created a Mamaroneck specific recruitment video. We actually had two different ones. One was aired on Info, which is our school's news program, and the other was just played at our meeting, so when members come, they could get a little bit more information.
And tell me about the National Fall Leadership Conference that's coming up this fall.
So the National Fall Leadership Conference that our school and our state's attending is going to be held in Cleveland, Ohio on November 15th. And this is sort of like that fall district meeting we talked about, only on a much larger scale because it's a national conference. So we're expecting over 2,000 different members, and there are going to be a bunch of similar workshops by business professionals there.
Is there anything else about the FBLA, whether it's local or state or national, that you'd like our audience to take away from our talk that I haven't mentioned?
Sure. One thing I'll definitely say is while we're talking, and hopefully we seem very professional and very into leadership and the business world, it's also very important. We're a high school organization. It's a lot of fun. It's an amazing opportunity to travel. So that was my first time in California. Was actually on an FBLA trip. I was just at Nashville this past weekend. It's a really awesome experience, and there's nothing like it. And I'm really, truly myself honored and just have so happy that I joined when I was a freshman, and it's changed my life.
Well, my congratulations to you and to your parents and to your advisor and to the school for supporting the FBLA. And are you doing as much traveling as Ken is?
Yeah, I've been to Reston, Virginia again for the National Officer Training, then sort of the Albany, Troy area of New York for State Officer Training, and the National Leadership Conference in Anaheim. So I've been traveling for almost over a month straight this past summer, just for FBLA.
Yeah.
And you managed to keep your grades up.
Yes.
Tell me, are those jackets and ties complimentary, or do you have to? That's part of a standard dress code, no?
No, these are part of the National Officer Dress Code, so we actually have all matching attire. As far as dress code, just for general members, obviously business professional. So for guys, it's a bit easier. A suit or a sports jacket with a tie and a button-down shirt, khakis or slacks. For females, obviously a little bit more dicey, but
dicey? We'll get into that next time. Well, thank you both for coming on and representing the FBLA. And again, for those people who would like to support the FBLA in Mamaroneck, you have the information, hopefully on screen, about how to contact Ken or Adam or the FBLA advisor. Thanks for watching. I'm Michael Witch.